lives in Atlanta, Georgia, Jeremy has retained his membership at First Memorial. Amen? And we were talking about that a little bit earlier. I thank God for this young man and for who he is. One of the things that's for sure, even though Jeremy is away and out of town, when he was in Houston, he was always in contact with his pastor.
Amen.
When he moved to Atlanta, he was always in contact with his pastor.
Amen.
Jeremy even came to church, drove all the way here so I could pray over him just when he was preparing to move to Atlanta, Georgia. Amen. From Houston, Texas. But we thank God for what the Lord is doing in this young man's life. Thank God for who he is. We thank God for his family support. Amen. The genuine love that not only his family has for him, but that he has for his family. Thank God. Jeremy is a proud member of First Memorial Baptist Church. He's a native of Birmingham, Alabama. He's a graduate of Auburn University, where he graduated #1 in the 2017 class of Shortly after college, he moved to Houston, Texas to work at as a cancer research nurse at the #1 cancer hospital in the world, MD Anderson. In 2018, Jeremy moved to Atlanta, Georgia to work at Emory University Hospital as a general surgical nurse. Now, he is currently a surgical travel nurse in the state of Georgia. Making more money.
Sure is.
Now, I just read that part. Although Jeremy has accomplished a lot in his lifetime, the most important accomplishment he has achieved is becoming a follower of Jesus Christ. Jeremy has a compelling testimony of how the Lord can truly bless us with wings as eagles. That's what I often say. Listen, let me tell you, if you haven't heard Jeremy speak in a while, then you are truly in for a blessing this morning. First Memorial, I want you to show a warm welcome to our own son, Brother Jeremy Ellis. Next voice you will hear will be that of Jeremy. Amen.
I am so happy and delighted to be here with you guys today. First, I want to give thanks to my Lord and Jesus Christ for allowing me to be here, because without him, I am nothing. Second, I want to give thanks to Dr. Al. I thank you for even allowing me to be able to be in this pulpit, to be able to share my story. And like I said, we always kept in contact, and I thank you so much for blessing me. I remember we was talking, I always sing John Gray every week. I always sing Joel Osteen every week, but you were the pastor that really helped me get through my I thank you so much for being a great woman of God and continuing to allow God to use you. And I heard a sermon that you did a couple weeks ago. I heard it was fire. And also I want to give thanks to the ministers and the staff and everybody that put this program together. I thank y'all so much for everything that y'all do for the youth. I also want to thank my grandmother, my great-grandmother. She's 95 years old. I thank you so much for being here. I think you have instilled so much wisdom, so much courage in me, and I thank you so much for everything. And I also want to thank my aunt. I thank you for allowing a 16-year-old boy that was on the front of your doorstep that didn't have no place to go. And I thank you for everything that you have. we have one of my best friends from Auburn University, the Auburn University, War Angel. Thank you so much for being here, man, for filming me, and thank you so much for everything. I also see my auntie with that back there. Thank you so much for everything that you do. So I'm not going to be with you long today. I just want to inspire the youth. I would love for everyone to take notes during this speech because research says that we only remember 20% of what we hear. So I'd rather have a short pencil than a long memory.
You're right, man. You're right.
So can everyone turn to Job chapter 1?
Come on.
If you can't find it, it looks like Job. Looks like Job. But it's okay, it's okay. I was calling it Job myself when I was younger.
Oh, Lord.
And can you all stand for the reading of the word? And I'm going to be reading out the NIV version because it is Youth Day. So praise God for that version. So I'm going to be starting on chapter 6. Verse 6. Yes, I'm sorry. One day the angels came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also came with them. The Lord said to Satan, "Where have you come from?" Satan answered the Lord, "From roaming throughout the earth, going back and forth on it." Then the Lord said to Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job? There is no one on earth like him. He's a blameless and upright, a man who fears God and shuns evil." "Does Job fear God for nothing?" Satan replied. "Have you not put a hedge around him and his household and everything that he has? You have blessed the works of his hands, so that his flocks and herd are spread throughout the land. But now stretch out your hand and strike everything he has, and he will surely curse you to your face."
Jesus.
The Lord said to Satan, "Very well then, everything that he has is in your power, but on the man himself do not lay a finger."
All right now.
First of all, I want you to help me with this message today. I want you to look at your neighbor and say, "The guest speaker wants to talk about."
The next speaker want to talk about.
Stop tripping.
Stop tripping.
It's coming.
It's coming.
You may be sitting in the presence of the Lord.
Oh, Lord.
Say, Dr. Al, we don't even have to say anymore. Stop tripping, it's coming. That's already the message right there. I remember back in 2015, Auburn University contacted me about a paper I had written for a scholarship a while back. They were so intrigued about my story that they wanted to interview me and offer me a scholarship, so I agreed to meet with them. I sat at a table with representatives and journalists from the university, and they requested that I tell them my life story from the beginning. Wow. I remember starting off by telling them I was homeless, living in a car with my mother who had a mental illness. I remember taking wash-ups in the Shell gas station every morning before school. I remember children laughing at me in class because I had large holes in my shoes. I remember being taken away from my mother's care at a homeless shelter because her schizophrenia had gotten worse and no longer could care for me. I remember moving in with my father who physically and mentally abused me for over 6 years. I remember going to school with a broken nose because my father lost his temper again and decided to throw a plate in my face. I remember my father beating me with my composition notebook until all the pages fell out. I remember running away from my home at the age of 16 on April the 2nd, 2011 because this abusive thing with my father had gotten really, really bad. Not only did I have a rough childhood, I had to overcome some health problems that caused me to have open heart surgery twice. Not only did I have a rough childhood, while I was telling my life story, one of the journalists had stopped me and asked, "Mr. Ellis, how did you make it through all of this?" I said, "If it had not been for the grace." That was all my life. I wouldn't have not made it through. Young people, I want you to know that when you have favor over your life, God will break the rules to bless you. God is going to make your testimony so profound that when you tell it, folks don't think you lying. I thank God I don't look like what I've been through. You see, I look at my life as a mirror and a window. You see, a mirror allows you to look what's behind you, but a window allows you to see what's in front of you. I did not look at the mirror that caused me so much pain and so much hurt. I decided to look at the window of opportunity, and I decided to go after what God had made me to be. God will turn your mirrors into windows if you just trust Him. Young people, I want you to understand you have a choice of changing your mirrors into windows no matter what circumstances life throws at you. Because you're born looking like your parents, but you die looking like your decisions. First of all, I declare in this next season in your life, God is about to turn your mirrors into windows. I remember watching a children's program, and I felt like it's only appropriate to bring this up since it's Youth Day. I remember watching a children's program, and it was about a guy that was having a really bad dream, and in his dream, he was running through the woods. He did not know why he was running and who he was running from. He looks back, and there was a bear chasing him. So he ran even harder. As he reaches a dead end, he looks around and there's nowhere to go. So he asked the bear, "Are you gonna kill me?" The bear answered back, "I don't know. It's your dream." Young people, I want you to understand this. I had to change the life narrative of my story in order for the blessing to come through. If you're going through something, you have the power and the strength to change any bad dream that you're facing. My early childhood was a bad dream, but I decided to change it. So today, first of all, I'm going to give you information on how to stop tripping. Number one, stop tripping. He has you surrounded. If you look back in the book of Job, in chapter 1, verse 10 through 12, first of all, I want you to pay close attention to this verse because the devil had to ask for permission to torment Job. I want you to get this. Anybody that has to ask for permission isn't in charge. The last time I checked, I don't have to ask my coworkers for permission to take a vacation. Because they cannot approve my off time. The devil is just like a little coworker that you don't get along with in the office. They don't have no effect on what you got going on.
That's right, that's right, that's right.
So don't give the devil power over your mind because he isn't in charge. This verse also shows the protection of God. God said, "Have you considered my servant Job?" The devil says that. "Have you not put a hedge around him and his household and everything that he has?" I want you to touch your neighbor and say, "God has you surrounded." If you don't believe me, I can prove it to you in the scripture. For if you need somebody in front of you, David told me to tell you that the Lord is my shepherd, so that means he has your front. And he ends off the 23rd number of Psalm saying that goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, so that means he has your back. And just in case somebody wants to bother you from the left or your right, God said that I am with you always, even unto the end of the world. And just in case the devil wants to mess with your head, he has you surrounded and has anointed your head with oil. And just in case he wants to attack you from the inside, greater is he that is in me that is in the world. And just in case he wants to sneak up beneath you on the first sidewalk by saying, touch 5 people and say, he has me surrounded. That's why your enemy needs to be careful because God has set traps on every angle. Young people, I want you to understand this, that the enemy is never looking for average people. You're literally targeted by the enemy because there's something different and something special that rests on your life. No wonder other people don't have to go through the level of tech that you got to go through. It is evidence that they do not have the same level of gifting that you have. I'm not just talking to regular people. I'm talking to those of, like Sophia in The Color Purple. All my life, I had to fight. Every time I turn around, I got to deal with something because of my gift. that God has you surrounded if you're facing any attack from the enemy. Young people, I want you to also watch who you surround yourself by. In Job chapter 2, his wife said to him, "Are you still maintaining your integrity? Curse God and die." Job's friends were even doubting God. They thought it was something Job must have done to bring the suffering on himself. Young people, stay away from people that are not aligned with your destiny.
Amen. Yes. Yes.
You see, hanging around the right people can literally catapult you into your destiny. If you're hanging around 5 idiots, you're probably going to be the 6th. If you're I know a lot of people, young people are always talking about their haters. So sometimes you spend too much time talking about the enemy or the hater. They will deal with themselves, because you see, around every mountain there's a snake line. It's actually proven that there are certain altitudes that snakes cannot live above. So when people always tell me that they have snakes in their lives, it lets me know that they're living too low. So, young people, know that you're surrounded. Watch your surroundings. Number 2, stop tripping. Get your thinking right. In chapter 16, Job starts to doubt God. He's very emotional from 16 to 22 because he doesn't know if God is still who he thought he was. See, Job's mind is getting the best of him, and he starts tripping because God is not answering him quick enough. This is the same thing that happened in my life when I was facing my life battles. I did not think God was moving fast enough. It wasn't until I changed my mind, then he started to open up. You see, First Memorial, in order for the blessing to come quickly, you must get your thinking right. This is very important. In order to defeat the enemy, we must have our mind in the right place. The enemy loves to distract us with stuff. That doesn't matter. He distracts us with Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Netflix, church gossip. We need to put all that stuff down and get our thinking right and tune in and see what God is really trying to tell us. In this generation, we're so in love with our smartphones and smart devices that we spend all of our time and mental capacity looking at a screen all day that we forget to upgrade our thinking. Young people, I want you to get this. You cannot have a smartphone technology with a flip phone mentality. No wonder the devil can influence your mind so quickly, because you're still operating on a mental software that is no longer serving you. Turn to your neighbor and say, upgrade. Your mind is so strong and so powerful that the mind, it says that the mind is what we serve, that we serve the Lord with. That's why the enemy wants to fight your mind. Why in the world would the devil want your car? He doesn't drive. The devil don't want your job. He doesn't get up in the morning. The devil don't want your kids. Sometimes you don't even want your kids. He's just using what you care about to drive you crazy, because he's after your mind so that you will lose your power. I want you to understand this, that your mind is your power and your power is your mind.
Amen.
The enemy wants your mind. Psalms 23:7 says, "For as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." The devil doesn't have to tie you up for you to be bound. He ties you up with stress, worry, fear, anger, low self-esteem, tripping. And he can make you physically sick because your mind is sick. And when your mind is sick, it affects your thinking. I remember reading in a dictionary under the word weary. One of the definitions is to have your sense of pleasure exhausted. If the enemy, if I was the enemy, I would stop life from being fun. I will make you so miserable with all the stuff God gave you. I could stop him from giving it to you, but I will worry you to death until you had a real nice bed you couldn't sleep in. A real nice house that wasn't comfortable. Because if I could take away the stuff, I could take your mind from enjoying the stuff God gave you. Take captivity of your mind. Your mind is your property. I wish you would own it. The mind is the most expensive real estate in all of the earth. Your mind needs security. Sometimes your apartment building got more security on it than your mind. I'm just trying to help you. I don't know if this. Don't let anybody running out of your mind protect it. Young people, I want you to understand this. You are what you think. Whatever you think in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. Once you change your mind, start speaking those things that are not. You do know that the Bible permission to lie, right? I know I just messed up some of y'all theology. It's fine. I'm going to prove it anyway. Say it with me, church. Let the weak say I am. Let the poor say I am. So stop telling the truth and start lying to yourself. My purse is not empty, it's full. My bank account is not negative, it's in the positive. You better learn how to open your mouth and start speaking those things that are not as though they were. Parents, start speaking over your children in the morning. I remember back in 3rd grade, my aunt and I would say a prayer every morning. She would say one line that would stick out to me the most. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Start speaking affirmations over your children in the morning. I say this affirmation every morning when I wake up. I will hear the voice of the Holy Spirit within. I will lead and not follow. I will create and not destroy. I'm a force for good. I defy the odds. I set new standards. I'm the head and not the tail. I'm above and not beneath. I'm the lender and not the borrower. I'm loved by God. I'm chosen by God. I'm protected by God. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. And every tongue that rises up against me in judgment shall be condemned. It's my season. It's my turn. I am healthy. I am happy. I am wealthy. I am humble. I am strong. I am a champion. I will never be broke another day in my life. Stop tripping and change your mind in your speech. This is my last point. I'm gonna get out your way.
Right now.
Go right ahead.
Number 3, stop tripping, it's coming. I don't know who this is for, but God told me to tell you that this is the year He's going to release the blessing that He promised you years ago.
I heard that. That is true.
Can I be transparent with y'all for a second?
Go ahead.
3 weeks ago, I was in a situation at my job at Emory where I had to decide if I should continue to work at a job that devalued me or quit. I prayed to the Lord and He told me to quit because He had something better for me. I was so confused because this is a great paying job with great benefits. Young people, I want you to understand when God is really speaking to you, it's not going to make sense whatsoever. So I quit my job. I immediately started applying for positions. I had no offers after weeks of looking. So I started to trip.
Come on. That's all right.
I remember praying, asking God, why in the world would you make me quit? I was just like Job in chapter 22, tripping all over myself. After my prayer, I woke up the next morning and the phone rang from a travel nursing company. Not only did they offer me the job, I would be getting paid twice as much as my last job. Better benefits, and the job is closer to my house. Now, if that ain't God, I don't know what it is. That's why you gotta listen. You gotta listen. It's not gonna make sense. It's not gonna make sense whatsoever. That's why you gotta listen. That's why you gotta put the Facebook down. You gotta put the Instagram down and go in your closet. I go into my closet to this day and I pray. And I asked God, what vision, what direction as a man should I go? I'm just trying to help y'all this morning. I'm just trying to help y'all. God also told me to tell you, expect a quick move. Do me a favor and push somebody and tell them, expect a quick move. Expect it before the summer is over. I don't know who I'm talking to, but you've been waiting for a long time and been in faith for something to happen. It's going to be a quick move. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a raise. I don't know if it's a promotion. I don't know if it's a scholarship. I don't know what it's going to be, but expect a quick move. In Job 42, after Job prayed, the Lord restored his prosperity and doubled his former possession. I declare over your life that God will restore to you what the locust and the cankerworm ate up. Some of y'all are getting ready to enter a new season. You're going to have more money than you ever had. You're going to have more opportunities than you ever had. Matter of fact, you're going to have to change your zip code by the time this speech is over with. You gotta get ready for the blessing because the blessing is coming. The blessing is coming. Y'all not believing what I said. If you serve a mediocre God, an average God, that praise would do. The praise that you just gave would do. If he was an average God, and he was a sometime God, the praise that you just gave would do. I was homeless. I would go to the school stinking. And God clothed me. That's why you got to give praise to God. That's why you got to understand Him. Read His Word every day. And I'm trying to tell you, I'm 25 years old and I've been through a lot. Another woman right there, my aunt, she knows we both have been through a lot. And she always said, if you lean on the Lord, hey, if you lean on the Lord, He'll always be there with you. Get y'all to the green knees in the back.
Big brother.